Hey everybody, so I'm going to film a updated foundation routine, or a favorite foundation routine. This is actually going through the summer months and into the winter months. I haven't been wearing my favorite because sometimes the weather has to call for the right thing, you know how that goes. So I just want to show you my little trifecta. Let me see if I can hold it up here. I'm going to drop something. Okay, one by one. This is the MAC Prep and Prime Natural Radiance in the pink. This is the Do You highlighter drops, the coconut drops by Marc Jacobs. Ugh, that's a little gummy on the nozzle too. This is a glass bottle, so be careful, but it's super heavy and luxurious. This is my holy grail. This is Natasha Denona, the Face Glow Foundation. This is super dewy. It's got a very interesting color tone, or color undertone range within the line. It's not a huge color range, but she does touch in every skin tone category pretty nicely, I do feel like. This is the color that it looks like. See, it looks pretty weird and dark, but watch when we blend this out. It actually, in my opinion, becomes such a natural finish with a full coverage touch to it. I mean, look at that. I'm sorry, I'm kind of looking underneath the lens, and I have a lot of bright lights in my eyes. You know how that goes. So what's on my eyes, I usually do 2 pumps of that, is I was playing with the Sassy Siennas palette by Dose of Colors, and I just have the first 2 shades blended in my crease. Obviously, I don't have it on my lid. And I got a care package from a friend of mine in the mail. And it's actually my first highlighter from the brand. Multitasking is not, you know, it's all in our heads. So, I have a ton of liquid lipsticks from Jeffree Star. But I've never tried their highlighters, and I got sent this. And I bet you're going to think the same thing I'm thinking. So first of all, the pan is loose in here. But it's that holy shit green. And okay, if you've seen some of my posts, I have a post log thread called About Last Night Skincare, or About Last Night. If you look up that tag, it's skincare that I use in the PM. And often I have a lot of things that are pictured that have that color in it, like all the packages. And you hear me, like, if you see what I write, gotta get that gunk off of there. That's why I squirted so much on my hand. I am not using this much on my face. But you'll see I constantly talk about that color, and I'm like, this should be the color of the year. This is the best color on the planet. And so when I got that in the mail, it made me laugh, to say the least. So, we're using this like an underglow. And so, with this foundation, don't worry, I will hit a level of I've gone too far very shortly. I'm keeping away from this area, but at first it's going to intensify pores, but once we cover it up with foundation, we're good. Anyway, when I opened that, what I realistically thought was, well, isn't that the most beautiful, largest eyeshadow I have now? Because it's massive. You know what? Some days you just want to pretend like this liquid highlighter is strobe cream, and it's not. But man, are we going to just 10-man it up. Now, I will agree, I've seen some videos where people will reference putting this underneath the full coverage foundation is kind of frivolous and might be slightly useless. I totally agree with those thoughts. If you're using something that is semi-full coverage, so this is going to be a medium to full buildable, and it has a dewy finish, a very dewy finish, it's going to play up to it play off of it very well. I need to wipe my favorite way to apply this foundation is pumps. So pretty. And I really like to kind of spread. So I'm not picking it up like a dot. I'm really kind of gonna get a good runway. As weird as that sounds. I've dotted this on before. It's weird to apply. There was a learning curve for me with this foundation, I'm not gonna lie. I tried for a long time like using my Artiste brush the whole 9 yards, and it was just like not cutting it for him. So I like to spread it on and then go in and pounce it out. Ooh, girl. And then you're really gonna see like why I love this foundation. It's gonna make you want to try it. Like, there's just no cake factor with this foundation. It just lays into your skin like magic. I don't know. Maybe once I'm editing, I'll have a completely different perspective on this. And I'll look at it and be like, oh fuck, I've been wearing that shit for years. I should probably stop. No. I mean, around my nose, nothing. No cakiness. And so I'm not really laying anything right here, obviously. Want to get that hairline, girl, and get them ears. Oh yeah, baby. What do you guys like to do when you're doing your makeup? Do you watch TV? Do you listen to music? I usually do a couple different things. Like right now I have the TV on in the background. I'm blended. I don't know what I'm doing sitting here doing this. And I usually like to hum and sing to myself. I do that quite often. One of my... What the what? My Becca Aqua Luminous foundation... Not foundation, concealer is missing, and I gotta look for it. Okay, crisis averted. This is the King of Dewy concealers. You can see this is extremely well loved. This was sitting on its side too. I have got to replace this as soon as possible. It's got the best little like oval-ended applicator, but it's so hydrating. I don't know. This stuff is just, it's good. It's real good. And this is, yes, typically how I would lay on my foundation. I mean, my concealer. I'm going to continue to call it foundation. You obviously know what I'm doing right now. And see how this kind of brightens? I mean, we're really not trying to like add coverage or anything, but it just, oh, it has such a flawless hydrated dewiness under the eye that I'm here for it. So here for it. What powder am I going to use? Let's go with something else. I have no idea where it's at. Here we go. So this is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish. And what I like to do, so I'll go both ways. Sometimes I'll use a sponge to set in. This is my 160 by Makeup Forever. This is usually like a perfectly domed shape. As you can see, it's got this kind of permanence to it. And I will like scrub and get a good bit here. And then this combination here is Mega Dewy. So you gotta get all that out first. This powder is so impressive though. Like next level. And I don't know, I just manipulate and squeeze this brush and it just goes from the inner corner down to the crack of my nose perfectly. A little multitasking fluffer. And so then I just take this and lightly graze and set. And I'm not brushing. I don't want to really disturb my base. I want to lock everything in. Because once I move on to bronzer and blush and, you know, 50 other products, that's where I'm going to be really sweeping across the top of the skin. So I want to make sure that my foundation is concrete. I don't know about you guys, but do you ever have your moments where you're like, you're your own biggest fan at home, like you crack yourself up with your own jokes, and sometimes you even kind of turn to see if your family thinks that, you know, you're as funny as you think you are in your head, and it's usually just crickets in the background? Okay. I had a feeling that, you know, I didn't think that way either. I just wanted to make sure that you guys weren't thinking that way too. Okay, so there's that. And like I was saying a second ago, these are products that I'm using that I feel super, super confident with. As you can see, like, I don't have a very heavily accentuated pore area. I mean, you can still see my pores. I don't really try to deny it. I try to just let it be and act my age and, you know, kind of roll with it from that way. As sad as that may really look and feel. I did want to say, I got this in a, you saw me just hit my nose. I got this Boxy Charm. I just posted a video about that. That's on my inner corner. And, yeah. So, I'm pulling out, if you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm pulling some products out of my drawer. Getting the brushes together, because I wasn't prepared. Bronzer today, I'm going to use the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. And same typical routine of, I just kind of load my brush up, and I'm going to tap on up here. And then I'm going to do a little bit of a curve with a straight line underneath, kind of like maximizing all of this area to be my bronzing station. That's another awkward thing to say. Apparently I'm full on today. How about you guys? Do you ever feel like you're just the most awkward person you know? I can definitely do that. I gotta say, I know I definitely have confidence in being a human being, but, you know, as far as it going out and about in the world and getting things done, or, you know, not afraid to stand in front of a crowd, any kind of crazy shit like that. But I'll be damned if somewhere along the lines in life I self-taught myself that it is easier to go through life being goofy as hell and making fun of yourself and just kind of being your biggest critic. Otherwise, everybody's gonna always get to you. So, I always really approach a lot of things with a huge sense of humility. And I feel like it's just kind of a well-rounding thought almost. I don't know. Maybe I'm just mumbling. It sounds like it. This is a Dose of Colors from the Mint For You collection in the shade Amaze-Mint. I love this. This is super soft, so I'm going to be kind of gentle with it. It's got a little bit of a sheen, but it really doesn't come out that way. And remember, we're kind of fill in that crevice of our bronzer and kind of bring it down to the cheeks. I almost think of it as a semicolon, like, or a number 6. We're going to 6 our cheeks. Hey, that's what we're going to do. We're going to 6 them. Scissor me. No. Why so serious? I feel like I really do that to myself a lot. Why so serious? Oh, chickadees, what do we want to use as a highlighter? I always get to this moment where I'm like, oh, I want to play with something. Oh, this is the Hourglass Ambient Strobe lighting palette, and I never remember what's what. Like, this is the absolute strobe, this is the pure strobe, this is the lucid strobe. No, this is the pink, the yellow, and the brown. It's exactly what that story is. We're not changing it. Okay, so I've really been loving this brown shade, especially when I dial up my bronzer. When I have my cheeks a little bit more corally pink like you see right now, pink shade is going to work well. And then same thing for if you're going for more nude blush, like a naughty nudes kind of blush. The gold really kind of pulls in to shape your face. So with that being said, I'm using my Inglot 4SS, which stands for Super Squirrel. Just kidding, it stands for Squirrel Substitute. And if you've watched my videos before, you're no stranger to the sound that you hear now, which is obnoxion. Just kidding, that's not a word. Those are bulldog feet. You know what I haven't used in forever that I keep forgetting about is I have a highlighter from Artist Couture. Where is it before I start digging out everywhere? And I need to use it. I need to use that in an upcoming video because, here it is, I found it. Don't fall, don't fall. Because it is so pretty. I use it a lot for on the lid. On the lid as well as an inner corner highlight. I love this brand though. I love following Mac Daddy a lot. But this is so pretty, and because it's a loose highlighter, I kind of feel a little intimidated about it. Oh, ooh, you can call me with the Cocoa Bling. Cocoa Bling. It can only mean one thing. I'm shining. Oh, so anyway, I swear to God, next video that comes up, we're gonna do that. Here's something. Okay, I was watching earlier. I was watching a video earlier, as most of my conversations start, and Carly Bible, bless her goddamn little heart, she's so cute. She had a brush this big, pulling this shit out. And I can't do it, because like the sides are just a little too perfect. And it's like I need to buff it. I really don't want to put highlighter on the tip of my nose, but I feel like I'm about to for some reason. Oh, here it comes. Shut the fuck up. You're too old for this. I'm using the yellow. Yes, it's the yellow. I really don't discriminate with this palette. Just kidding. I love all three shades in this palette. Like, I don't know. I've heard some, when they review this, they like 2 out of 3, or, you know, they like really just 1. They want to make singles. I love all 3 of these shades in this palette. I really fucking do. I think this was a true home run product. And it's not the same formula as the singles. So if you find this available, pick it up. Hands down. I'm going into the brown now. And I'm just going to do some little spot highlighting. And I'm going to go into the yellow. What do you think? I love this foundation. I really do. Ugh, I cannot say it enough. Like, this is my 3rd bottle. I'll continue buying it. It's worth trying. The only thing that's a little tricky is that you have to buy it online. Unless you can find a select Sephora. I just recently found this in the downtown Houston location in person where you can swatch other shades, but Beautylish does a great job with color references. A lot of the websites, they really list out the undertones, and sometimes when it's colder outside or I'm not getting as much sun, it can look a little bit darker, but for the most part, I'm so in love with the color. And it's got SPF in it, so you can't really beat that kind of stuff. Yeah, I think I'm gonna cut away and maybe put on some lashes and put on some lip and actually show you guys that I will finish my makeup in a makeup video. I'll be right back.